Off. I know it wasn't on. I'm just fucking around. Give me one second. Fix one thing. We're gonna get live. Welcome to the Den. I'm your host, Sir Ed Huncho. We got a lot to talk about, but let me do my disappearing act real quick. And alakazam, alakabang, boom. You know, I'm gonna be right here. So just whatever. All right, we got stuff to talk about. It's gonna be a very interesting conversation tonight. I don't know if you can hear me walking around. Hope you can hear me. If you can't, well, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I'll say it one more time. So again, first and foremost, welcome to the Den. I want to shout out to all you lovely, amazing, wonderful people. Shout out to each and every one of you, right? Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe whatever. But I'm feeling like if you've been in the Discord as of late, things are starting to get back to like the old dens how they used to be. So it's definitely going to be it's definitely going to be interesting. All right, so let's see what we got joining us, and let's get into it. We're going to talk about single children tonight. Single children, only child, parents of single children, right? So they could be a single parent, it could be two parents, it could be whatever. But we're going to talk about why single children, only childs, are weird, right? And I know you're like, huh, so why you pointing finger? I was kind of an only child, right? And I'll explain the dynamic. I come to realize, like, my life is weird because a lot of things that I've had, like the highs and the lows, or the I've been able to experience, different sides of things, and kind of understand both perspectives, right? It's good, it's bad, it's whatever. But anyway, let's see what we got doing. Lovely Miss D the Gamma, how are you doing this evening, ma'am? I hope all is well. The lovely Miss Bell, I don't drink Southern style sweet tea, and I called Honcho a racist name involving pickles last night. If you weren't in the Discord, then you missed it. I can't help you. Heidi's here. Hello, the lovely Miss Heidi's here. How you doing, Heidi? What it do, man? Man up. We got a conversation to have. You hit the nail on the head with that comment you left, because that's absolutely the conversation we need to have, very very soon. Because I think being friends with your coworkers is kind of weird, right? Dre, what's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Michelle, how are you doing this evening? It's all an illusion. AK, where are all the white women? I had an epiphany about the white women in the den. I mentioned in the Discord. Actually, now that I think about it, I might be off about one more thing, but it is what it is. The artist formerly known as Dr. Rabbit, aka HT Jason. Is that like high tech Jason? I don't even know what that means. But good evening, sir. Good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss K Grace. How are you doing this evening, ma'am? You can say the matriarch of the den. The lovely Miss K Grace. Always good to see you, ma'am. Buck. My name Buck. I drive a big truck, and I like to cluck like a chicken. Nah, Buck, what's the motherfucking deal? The Marquis. I share Winfred Broderick Johnson in the building. Good to see you. That's my instrument, my verbal instrument. Make sure I ain't miss you. If I missed you, I promise I ain't dish you. Let's get into some good conversation, right? Let's talk about it. We got plenty of things to talk about, and where do we start, right? I don't have my notebook with me. I should probably get it. It's like right there. Do I have a pen? If I have a pen close by, then I'll get it. All right, give me a second. Give me un segundo, por favor. What is it? I have little random phrases that I learned. Te pone bella acá, escucha mi voz. Sí. Anyway, don't mind me, right? Don't mind the pants. Tired. Sometimes I actually don't. I'm lying. I always have clothes on when I stream, right? Because there's always like the case that the the camera could fall some kind of weird. I've had strange things happen, right? So I wouldn't want to wouldn't want to get weird in here, right? So I do always wear clothes, but let's talk about it. So, single children, only childs, people who tend to be raised up as the primary only youth in the household, right? And I used to not think that there was a thing about it. And I say that I am an only child because even though I did have a sister, she passed away at a relatively young age. And there was a point that when we were young that we didn't stay together for, you know, quite some time. So there was a few years in between that, you know, we did. And so most of my young experience was kind of being, you know, I wouldn't say the center of attention, but you know, you are the baby or you're the youth or whatever. You were the youngest, the youth. You're the young one, right? Or if no one's, you know, you get that. You get all the attention, right? That's just whatever. Kids get attention. And so, depending on the type of attention that you're given, it can go, you know, multiple ways, actually. I wouldn't say one of two ways. But a lot of times what you have is you have children that get spoiled or catered to, and they end up getting too big for their britches. Or you have a situation where there may be some type of angry type of deal going on, and so the kid may be abused, the kid may be punished, may be mistreated. But the primary thing that I take away from children, the child aspect of it, there's two aspects, the parent and the children. Let's talk about the children. The children never really learn how to socialize properly because the things that are yours, right? You don't deal with these in-house negotiations that you have to deal with when you have siblings, right? When you have brothers and sisters, you don't make sacrifices. You don't, like I said, make deals. You don't, you know, say, you don't have, you know, who's the rat? Like, and we got to talk about middle children too. Middle children are a whole different animal. I don't know who's worse, middle children or only child. I'm gonna put that poll up here in a second. Actually, we're gonna do like quick poll, right? I don't like the quick poll. I don't like doing all this stuff. Who is worse, the middle child or the only child? We'll do 1 for only, 0 for middle, like a circle. So only child or middle child? Who do you, in your opinion, tends to be the worst stereotyped child, right? And I still have not resolved some of the bot and its yeah, that's why I keep saying like that. Only child, it's a joke. But yeah, like who do you think is worse, or who gets more of the stigma? But Ken, what's the motherfucking deal? Because you know, there's always this narrative like the only child gets overlooked. So like, hey, there's a lot of tension going on. Oldest child is over here tripping. Youngest child is getting spoiled. I'm the child in the middle. Nobody's paying attention to me, so I rebel. Right, I become the black sheep. That's tends to be how it goes. I don't know what this thing is doing right here. Fuck that. I got to talk about something real quick now because of what I just did. I have to talk about something, right? And this is completely off topic. This is the den. You know how it operates. Y'all gonna leave my nigga BG alone. All right? Y'all gonna leave my nigga BG alone. My boy just got free. Allow him to reacclimate. And I know, Huncho, you talk about you don't need to be doing this and listening to that. And BG is one of the perpetrators of the music and the stereotypes of stuff. You know, I don't care. I don't care. Right? Give me a fucking pass. All right? Y'all gonna leave my boy alone because he don't look like Sexy Red, all right? I'm just gonna leave my nigga alone. You know what I'm saying? There is no masculine way to really move your hair. You know what I'm saying? I believe I still have it, and I think and that's my bad if I didn't, because I changed numbers, so I don't think I had updated you with it. I believe I still got it. Let me double check. Let me check and see, and if I do, I'll just text you. But yeah, there's no way to like. How do you do? I'm saying, I look at me. I look like I'm doing the Harlem Shake. There's no way to You got a lot of hair. This is a hair problem, okay? This is not a one of those problems. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like y'all gonna leave my boy BG alone. Cash Money is the Army, right? Better yet, a Navy. And I know what y'all say about people in the Navy, and now y'all gonna try to make jokes. I said that we're not gonna go there. Cash Money is the Army. Better get a Navy. Y'all gonna leave my nigga BG alone. He finally free. I'm hearing the Hot Boys gonna make an old ass album, and I'm gonna listen to it. I don't give a shit. They can talk about geriatric BBLs and all other shit. I'm gonna listen to that shit because that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Brandon A, what's the motherfucking deal? So y'all ain't fucking with me on the BG take. I see how y'all do it. Okay, I see how y'all do it. Y'all ain't feeling me on the BG. Look, you know what? Forget y'all out here. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I grew up listening to the motherfucking Hot Boys, man. And now something different going on. I don't know what that different is, but yeah. There's something definitely different going on. But shout out to everybody who was in the Discord before the stream. Very good conversation. Very good conversation going on. So let's talk about it. So me being at points in times in my life, for the majority of my life, I would say, in a position to be an only child. Now I think my circumstance was a little bit different because of what happened. So there may have been, I don't know, right? I mean, who knows? If it would have just been just an only child, or because of the circumstance, what happened would have been the same type of energy. Either way it goes. And this is why I talk so much about the single mother thing too. And I'm not saying that my mother, I felt like she did a bad job. She did an excellent job. Nowhere near as ratchet as any of the people I talk. That's why I talk about the shit I talk about so freely. You know, when I talk about people's mamas, because I know I got to go back and talk. I'll talk about your mama, because I'm not too worried about talking about mine. So, with that being said, so I know the behaviors that I took upon were of my own, right? But when you're an only child, sometimes you're shielded from stuff. Sometimes you are, you know, given certain treatment that you might not normally have you had to have dealt with, you know, other siblings. You tend to get what you want. Hey, it's only you, as opposed to, hey, it's 3 or 4 of us and we want to go to McDonald's, right? And so you have to learn how to go without, or you learn how to split, or you learn you always got a motherfucker stealing your fucking 2 or 3 of your fucking fries, right? Fry tax, motherfucker. But you have to learn how to deal. And those are social lessons that you learn how to deal with. People who have grown up with siblings around the same age, to me, socialize better, right? Because they have to assimilate into your family. You have to, right? Like that's how it works. Again, you know, that's just my thought. But, you know, y'all would try to read the chat. Y'all still going in on my nigga BG, man. You know what I'm saying? Who was it? Gary Busey? Was it Gary Busey, or was old buddy from 40-Year-Old Virgin? But yeah, you know what I mean? So my thing about this is just that I used to not ever really think this way until recently, right? So now I really know I can't have kids, right? I don't, cause like I don't want to have a kid and then it be the weird one. I'm already a weirdo, right? So weirdo, you have a weirdo, and that kid's like super weird, right? Cause it's the only one. So then I'd have to have 2 for that one not to be super weird, and I definitely don't want 2. So this is all justification for me not to have any. But see, the Hispanics had it figured out. They already knew the whole family thing and the value of all this shit. Like, have as many as you fucking can. The more, the merrier, right? Because the bigger the fucking support system. But, again, it's a bigger burden to carry, but I guess on the back end, there's more value, right? Who knows? But again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about middle children, because some people may be more familiar with the middle child situation. But I want to talk about the parents, though, right? The parents of only childs. They're really weird, too, right? Because that tends to be a lot of them. Well, they either love it or they hate it, and a lot of them tend to have I wouldn't say regrets, but either they tend to live very vicariously through that child, or they I heard a weird noise. They spoil the child, right? To an extreme way. And again, that child ends up being not fit for society because they're so used to being catered to. And then depending on the generations, right? So say you were an only child and then you had another kid, you only had one. Well, your grandparents are going to value that one extra special because it's their only grandchild, right? So that kid's going to be so used to being spoiled and over nurtured and catered to. You might have a few families here and there that don't operate on that level. But for the most part, because of the, I won't say value, but the rarity, right, of the bloodline or whatever you want to call it. So they're going to be used to thinking that this is how life treats them, this is how they should be treated, this is how they should be valued. And they're going to end up being kind of spoiled mentally, right? So it is what it is. You offended. When single people get beyond age 45, it's a very, very lonely life. I don't even know what she's talking about. I'm lost. She's speaking Spanish again. No, I don't know that. But you know what? Who knows? Anyway, yeah. But yeah. So again, those parents tend to be weird, right? Because again, it's my only kid, so I'm gonna, expose. And so I blame them more so than anything, because they don't tend to prepare their children well for the real world, right? They don't put their kids in realistic. They tend to shield their child because it's the only one I got, right? So one is so close to none, right? So they shield them, they protect them, they step in, they do everything for them. And these kids tend to know that, they tend to learn that, and they tend to use that to their advantage. Or they tend to use that and it makes them soft, right? It makes them to where they don't go out, they don't get dirty, they don't they don't take risks. They're very sheltered, they're very nurtured, right? And then especially in this day and age of the vid era where people act like, going outside is a sin. They're afraid of the sun. Yeah, extremely. Because in this, what you got to understand, especially when it's an only child, they have the time to study their parents, right? It's just them. So they know what makes them, and they learn how to do those things. A lot of people don't realize that shit. They learn how. I could say, when I was a kid, I may have leveraged some things to my advantage, right? But it is what it is. So you see, especially if you're an only kid, look, that motherfucker. But yeah, they do shit like that. So again, it is what it is. Single child. Are you talking about like the, yeah, the, oh, there's a term for that. There's definitely a term for it, but I can't think what the term is. Let's see. You said the ADOS motherfuckers got me steaming right now. This bad political pop. Oh man. Shout out to Rob. Let's see. I'm not gonna go too into today, right? I've ranted for long enough. Maybe I should try to keep the rants under 30 minutes, so that way there's enough time to take some calls. Motherfucker got the most fucking poorly manufactured rubbers. Do they still? When's the last time you heard somebody call a condom a Jimmy hat? Right? Y'all still wearing Jimmy hats? I'm gonna be honest. Like, who took the liberty to just go out and give the name Jimmy to the penis? What if I got my own name, but he wants his own hat? He wants a little honcho hat, right? Like, what about that? You got some little honcho hats? Anyone know what the fuck I'm talking about? Got some Jimmy hats. Don't ask me where I'm going on this rant. It makes no sense. I know this. Don't ask me questions. This is the den. I got a joke for that, Heidi, but I'm gonna let that one. Let me just let it go. It's not for everybody. All right, man. Good talking to you. Like I said, I'm gonna hit you up here. We definitely the topic you mentioned, and we definitely need to talk about that. Like I am ready to talk about that one. All right, so let's open up the line. Let's take some calls. We're gonna talk about manipulative middle children and only parents, and the ones who think they got their kid is the best. Motherfucker, your kid still eat crayons. He's 13. What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? Like, motherfucker, the child is 19, senior on varsity. What are you talking about, right? So, give me just one momento. Let me open up let me find a dilly-dally. Yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. Let me open up the line. Oh, I need to plug in because I don't have these hooked up. Give me just 1 second. Look, y'all know players F up occasionally, right? This is actually the same thing I'll be talking to y'all on when I be on the Xbox, in the Discord. All right. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna log into this. There's been some very interesting conversations going on in the den lately. I'm just thinking about something that was spoken about earlier. Make sure, I'm going to put the Discord link in there too. Make sure that, give me just 1 second. I got to set everything up. Make sure you are part of that because the den is always going on, whether we're live or whether we are not live. There's always something going on in the Discord. There's been some great conversations lately. And, all right, so the line is open. Let me put the number up, I guess, right? Y'all want the number? Let me give you the fucking phone number, right? All right, there we go. Gated, bitch. All right, so there we go. The number is 832-464-4555. 832-464-4555. If you would like to call in. Instantly pregnant. Hold up, baby. Hold up. It's going down. Hello. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is Miss Grace with the bass in her voice, as Illusion said.
How are you doing? How are you doing this evening, Miss Grace?
Good. Yeah, it's interesting you brought this up because I worry about my granddaughter being an only child. You know, and I wanted my daughter to have another baby some kind of way, and I even questioned, I said, don't you want to freeze your eggs or something? You know, I don't know how much it costs, but we could find out. She looked at me like I was crazy. Because I grew up with 6 siblings in the house. My mother had 5 girls, 2 boys, and I'm the middle girl. And then I had so many cousins. And I didn't have to jump into fires to know it was hot because I learned to navigate life in so many things by way of my siblings. You know, if they didn't go through something, they knew somebody that went through it. You know what I mean? So you're getting all these different stories, and you're hearing about all of these different experiences, so you learn from them. You know what I mean? And so I'm afraid for my granddaughter, so whenever I run into an adult-only child, I always start questioning them and picking their brains to see if they're okay, you know, to make it in this world, because I can't even imagine without all of my siblings. And even though I'm the only one that stayed in the city and all the ones have left the city and the state, we're still close. We're tighter than tight, you know. So, and there were times that I wished I was an only child because in my house we had to share everything, share my mother's time, share clothes, you mean all kinds of things we had to share, and I wanted my own. You mean, and then once I got, and even like I said, I sold the most Girl Scout cookies, but I wouldn't go to camp because I was afraid of bugs. So I let everybody else go, and then I got to stay home by myself. There was a method to my madness from way back. I got to stay home by myself, roll my hair, practice my dance moves and things like that. I got to feel like an only child when everybody else was gone.
Yeah.
You know. But now I am so happy that I have all of my siblings. You know, even my friend that just went through something, her little brother passed away, and when her daughters came home, I said, my friend Maria was okay. When my brother passed, when my mother passed, I was here alone, and it was difficult, but as soon as my son and my siblings came in, everything was that much easier.
I mean, and that's a I guess the trade off. You know, the time that you get early on as an only child, you get less of on the back end. The time that you end up splitting and sharing as maybe a family of multiple children, well, you get more of it because on the back end, like you said, you maybe lose other people, you get that support system. You know, you
Right.
kind of yeah, it's a it's funny because coming up and how you said, learning everything for everybody. Like I look at my life and I've pretty much had to figure things out on my own because there was nobody to really lean on for that. Hey, well, what about this type of situation or what type of situation that, in sports, you got coaches here, leadership and stuff like that. But as far as just certain things that, you know, you want to have a conversation with somebody your age about, and or you're trying to figure out as you're trying to discover life, a lot of that wasn't there. So it is very interesting that you have siblings for that, and that you can lean on. I never thought about that.
Right. And you know the kids that were socially awkward
Hmm.
were those change of life babies. My mother used to pick them out. I said, "What's wrong with so and so?" That's a change. She's a change of life baby. Like I told you, how the crazy old ladies with the lipstick that went up to their nostrils. You mean that, "Mommy, how come that lady's so crazy?" I'd be holding my mother's hand going downtown to pay bills, and she said, "A man did that." So see how I was conditioned? That's how she
Oh,
taught me,
oh man, that's funny.
you know.
Yeah.
But and let me tell you, and the issue now with my daughter, my granddaughter being an only child, I've been having issues. Like she's a good kid, hardworking kid, good grades in school. She's just wonderful. She's nice. But anything I say, they think I'm too hard. As Illusion would say, they think I have too much bass in my voice. So when I interact with my granddaughter, my daughter jumps in and she speaks for her. And I said, she can speak for herself. You know, they act like, and I said, you should be used to me now, the way I talk. You know what I mean? And you should be used to it. Why should I have to say, "Oh, come on, Nola, could you please do you want something to eat? Thank you so much for taking." Yeah, I don't talk that way. My daughter says, "Well, Mommy, you've gotten worse." Well, I've gotten older. You know what I mean? Especially if I had to repeat myself. I don't like to repeat myself. You know what I mean? Then I'm going to come more harsh. And you know what I mean? And I said, and she needs to learn to deal with people like me. My daughter's always going to jump in and speak for her daughter
That's
because they think
definitely
I'm too hard.
that's definitely a thing. The parents of those children tend to be overprotective. And like you said,
Yeah,
they do tend to step in, and so again, that I don't, it keeps the child from being able to mature in certain areas. And like I said, that social
right.
awkwardness and all that stuff. So those responsibilities that normal children would have to take on or would be used to, um, those kids don't get those experiences. So yeah, they do tend to be awkward. They tend to be weird.
That's right. Oh, wait a minute. Joshua Lemieux just said something. I guess he's quoting me because in the Discord I said, he said, "Don't you have a husband to fuck?" No, I don't.
Mm.
And what I was saying in the Discord, that was a question for anybody because I wonder, don't they have something to do?
Mm.
And they're not. So that's what it is, Josh. So don't take my words, you or Illusion, out of content. Don't.
There's been some. The Discord has gotten very interesting. lately. I think there's been some different interpretations of things going on.
Oh, I know it.
So,
I'm sitting here looking. I'm looking so I can address them right now. What's Illusion? Did he say anything about me? Okay, no, I guess not. I adore him, though. I adore Illusion. I really do. But he can be a pain in the ass, too, now. But I'm going to let somebody else call in because I don't like to hog up the line. I don't like to take too much time. You know what I mean? I try to be considerate of people that are coming after me.
Okay.
Hence, everybody. Okay.
Shout out to Miss Grace. I love
Okay.
Miss Grace. Thank you for calling in and getting the party started, Miss Grace.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Bye. Shout out to Miss Grace. Oh, I'm telling y'all think I just be saying stuff. I'm telling y'all, if you are aware and alert and you listen with your ears, Miss Grace be saying the funniest shit. Let's see. But it is. I mean, and I didn't think about that. But here's the deal with me. So my best friend, their family, there was several of them, but 4 boys, 1 girl. So, they took me on almost like family. So, but there's still like a slight difference. You know what I mean? There's still always going to be like a little bit of a difference. Say 12 and who else did I miss? Somebody else slid in here that I may have missed. But there's always going to be that slight difference. But I love, like I say, you to the end of me, like, hey, you can't tell me any different because, But, you know what I mean, right? But, so, again, when my sister did pass, that kind of became that family, that range, where you did have some of those knucklehead experiences and things like that. So for me to say that I didn't have that, I guess would be a bit disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to come across that way because, we're basically like my brother. We did everything together. So, but it's just different in a way. So, but I won't take away from that. There's a thing that's been going on in the den. I'm gonna have to start segregating because of the shenanigans that have been going on in the Discord. White women have been misbehaving in the den, right? And it's just so we gotta get a rein on that before it gets out of control. Other than that, it's all good. So yeah. Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's good, Ancho? It's J-Mail, bro.
What's going on, Mr. J-Mail? How you doing this evening, Mr. J-Mail?
I'm doing all right. Still, I got attacked just now by Miss Grace.
Oh.
For using her own words, but
Okay.
That's what women do.
Women are known for these kind of behaviors. What do you feel about only children, parents of only children? What do you feel about middle kids?
Well, I feel like the middle child, it usually turns out to be borderline sociopath because they take out their anger on the world for all the attention they felt like they didn't get as a kid. And then I feel like most only children usually end up being borderline sociopaths too because they get way too much attention for the parents. And they usually get whatever they want. And they usually, I find if it's bad parents, they usually end up raising them more like a friend instead of their child. So, but I think that being from my experience, because I was the baby, I was the only boy, and I was raised by a single mother. I think that's the worst experience any child can have.
Ooh. That is a very peculiar situation. So how
Because
did that?
imagine,
Okay.
well, just imagine you kind of already feel like an only child, but it becomes worse because as a being raised by a single mother, she tries to make you feminine because she doesn't understand what it is to make a boy a man. And when you push back against that, naturally, it puts a wedge between you and your mom, and it kind of messes up the bond that y'all could have between each other. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, now I agree, and I mean, you know, I kind of believe the same thing when I see a lot of stuff that goes on. I think it's very hard for a young man to be in a house full of females, especially like I said with a single mom. I mean, because I mean, it'd be a house full of females, because like I said, the energy is going to be very high estrogen. You know, a
Right.
lot of femininity going on,
And
and so like I said,
a lot of illogical things happening
yeah,
around you.
yeah, a lot of just emotions flying everywhere. So it's hard for a
Right.
young man to understand how
To
to
function.
operate in his yeah, how to function, how to operate in his own
Right.
nature. And you are like I said, I could immediately see the rebellion coming because it's a frustrating situation, right? It's like it's like you're being restrained almost in a way, or you're getting pushed back in
Right.
the wrong direction. Yeah, I definitely can understand that. So,
And then
okay.
I went from that to I think at 13, 14 I moved out and moved in with my aunt who had a son. My aunt and her husband. So he's an only child. And they accepted me, but it's kind of like you was talking about that family that kind of, made you a part of their family. It's like, yeah, it's family, but, I know that y'all don't look at me like your child because I'm not your child. So that's also a weird dynamic.
So, what do you feel like is the best situation for if all things could be ideal? What is the ideal family?
Mm, I would probably say something like 5 or more kids, so that at that point, because I feel like at a certain point, once you have so many kids, you kind of lose that. Oh, I'm the middle child. I'm the first child. You know what I'm saying? Like it becomes more of like that first child becomes a second parent, and then you know what I'm saying. But it creates more of a pecking order. Everybody knows their place more, and it's more of a just we're all one big family instead of who's first, who's second, who's the baby.
Do you feel like those the first child in a large family of offspring? Do you feel like that makes them better leaders? Do you think they're more prone to take responsibility? Or what impact do you think that has on that first child and that offspring?
Uh, if that's in them, then yeah, I think that you know what I'm saying because you are who you are.
Yeah.
So, but how you grow up amplifies who you are. Helps bring that out of you. You know, helps build that character.
That's interesting. They say 5 or more. That's a that's a lot, but I can see that. I definitely can see that. You know, and y'all in the chat, if you're listening, if you're in the chat, you know, if you're not even in the chat, you're hustling in your own house. I want y'all to tell me how many kids do you believe is the ideal number? If everything been, I want it not. There's an ideal family, mama and papa. It takes two to tango. So, ladies, I know y'all hate men and y'all mad at men out there tonight. Imagine your ideal man, your Idris Elba's or your whoever being your husband for life, and this is long term affair. How many children, ideally, do you think you and your ideal mate would need to raise for those children to be stable? Let's see, 2 to 4,
Like
2 to 5. You say,
and the reason I say that because like my great grandma had 13 kids, and my grandma is the oldest,
yeah.
and and my aunt that I moved in with was the youngest. And so my grandma has kids the same age as her youngest sister or older. And I never hear any of their siblings talk about who's the oldest or who got treated better. or any of that. But it was also different times. My great grandpa owned a farm. They was employees. They had that many years to take care of that damn farm. You know what I'm saying? But everybody understood that and did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a different time now.
Yeah, I guess the more kids you live on the farm, the more kids you have, either it's the easier the
Yeah,
workload
the more
gets,
manpower you got.
or the more the farm
Yeah.
expands. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm using my nose. So Heidi, and again, that is the power family. Because if something is going wrong, you got somebody to back you up. So yes, if I had a little brother or whatever in a situation like that, at first it would depend on the situation too. If it's just like, a one-off situation, I know that. Come on, all you gotta do is man up. You got that. Versus a situation where, and it could just be time and place. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna come to the rescue of the little brother who is getting, put in an uncomfortable situation in my own way.
Yeah, and that all depends on how you were raised and what kind of household what kind of household you grew up in. Because your parents could be some fucking degenerates, and so what you think they're gonna raise?
Yeah, this is true. And -2 kids, if it was possible, maybe. Well, yeah. So okay. So again, okay, I find that very interesting. What would you say? You said that the only children end up being sociopaths or being overloved, or
Yeah, from having too much attention, from basically being the center of attention. So they grow up thinking they're the center of the universe, and that's how everybody should treat them. Or their parents treat them, instead of treating them like a child, they treat them like their friend and include them in everything. And now you got a 6-year-old running around thinking they're grown.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. How big of a problem do you think that has on the way people operate now in society? Like we talk about entitlement often. Do you think that significant number of that is because of single children or parents who are friends with their kids?
I think that's the biggest problem in America today. That's why people don't know how to mind their own fucking business. People don't know how to act in public. People think everybody owe them something. We don't owe you shit. You get what you earn, but whenever you've been given everything because you're the only person that your parents have to provide for, it's inherent that you ended up with this sense of entitlement. But it was the parents' responsibility to check that at some point.
Okay. I don't. Oh, my boy Eastside. I seen this living here earlier. So shout out to Eastside. I don't know. I have no further questions. Is there anything else?
I'm not saying there aren't any productive people that came from single parent home or single children home. It's just, but the majority, especially in our society and especially my generation and lower, is fucking ridiculous. But I think that just speaks more to bad parents and more than anything.
We're gonna have that's one of the very near future topics. It's bad parent, but a specific conversation about bad parents, because I think that, and I don't want to dive too much into it, but people just automatically give parents the benefit of the doubt just because motherfuckers had some kids. Like I be looking at motherfuckers like, you might be a shitty piece of shit. Like there should be some parenting permits, because everybody shouldn't be allowed to just pop these little bastards out. But it is.
Man, I'll tell you, one of the hardest things I ever had to do in life is try to be a stepfather to a child with a terrible mother. It's the hardest thing, or it's the worst uphill battle you'll ever face.
So that's another very interesting, peculiar conversation to have as well. Because I don't know, there's I said I don't want to give you all my topics that we're gonna have coming up. There's a couple of things that you've mentioned that what are we at? What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
I think we're gonna have these next two conversations next year, unless something outrageous happens, like California falls off the face of the earth. I think
That could definitely happen.
I think we're gonna have
Any day now.
yeah, we're gonna have a real good conversation about some things, about two of the things you mentioned, kind of in a similar context. So I'm not even gonna dive into them, but because they'll derail the whole den if we start going down some rabbit holes and things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean that's a very interesting perspective. The male, the only male in a house full of women, that is practically an only child because you have to figure.
Then you
out
combine
how
that with being. Then you combine that with being black. Holy shit, that's a horror movie.
So about shit. Yeah,
And we know who died first. We know who died first in that movie.
shit. You know what? That might be the fucking plot to Get Out too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
we should write it honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
We're gonna have to collaborate on that.
I really think you might be onto something. Like I already have like a plot twist in my head, like as to this whole thing, and it's ridiculous. But you might be onto something for real. The way things are these days, you might be onto something for real. You might have a hit movie on your hands, but
Hey man, just speaking my experience, bro.
you
Glad I survived it. A lot of others can't say the same. They had their house watching Lifetime
know, man. Let me tell
and Housewives of Hollywood.
You know, from one man with experience to another, my brother, Mr. J. Mill, I appreciate you, man. I definitely do. You're
Likewise, Honcho. Likewise.
You're a valuable gentleman to the den. I definitely appreciate you, sir.
So why I don't have a wrench then, Honcho?
We'll talk about that.
it. Let's not. Yeah, we won't even go there.
You know what? Let me see. I don't even think I've seen Broderick in here. If Broderick ain't in the den, if I don't see Broderick pop up by the end of the stream, we're gonna take Broderick loaner wrench. We're gonna give it to J Mill. Don't nobody tell Broderick. He'll just find out later. He'll complain.
The Marky bitch ass gonna tell him.
Yeah.
You know that's the op.
Oh yeah, the Marky go, hey, yeah. He go, what? I thought Broderick had a wrench. It's gonna be my wrench. But yeah, so it's all good. Sarah and Brandon, they get permanent passes. They're established. You know what I'm saying? They get PTO. But
Yeah, I ain't mad at it.
I knew Broderick was gonna pop up and say something.
I knew it too.
Yeah. All right, man, that's a bit. We're gonna work on it. We'll see what we do about that, Mr. J Mill. About that.
That's a bad. Well, I'm gonna get off the line. Let somebody else get a call in.
All right, that's a bit. Well, I
Before you
appreciate
close it
coming on
down.
this evening, sir, and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Already, bro.
That is a very, that is a different angle I've never thought about. You know, being the only boy. You know, we joke about that. You talk about, oh, you got it hard, but like you really got to think about a situation like that. If you are the only boy, the only male, in a house full of multiple females, the worse off it gets, right? Because, like you said, we can't teach you how to be a man, and then at the same time, you'll be raising all these women. So it is a very tough deal to. That's funny. So yeah, well, Project showed up. Darn it, couldn't finesse him out of the fucking wrench. It was something I was saying before the thing, and I forgot. I completely forgot what it was I was talking about. But I think that 5 children is interesting. Like, if things were reasonable, people are affordable, people are sensible, you know, we didn't live in the world we currently live in. I can see that. 5 kids is a lot, right? But is the middle child really then at that point the middle child, like, because you always kind of got somebody to your right or left to deal with, right? But there's only three. The top one has a role. You know, the youngest one has a role. You just kind of like in the middle, fucked over. But when it's like five, you still got the youngest, right? It's always gonna be the baby, and then you got the oldest one, right? But then in between, you got like some partners in crime to your right and your left. So I find it to be very interesting. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's going on, Han, to the show? Ken O'Shea, Stopping Son.
What's going on, Mr. Ken? How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Winding down. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaints. I think life is good.
It sounds like you're alive compared to your thickly event you had going on.
Yeah. Yesterday was not the most ideal day. I was all right. I wasn't too bad. I was a lot of coughing, a lot of sneezing. I didn't think that was going to be ideal for the stream. I think it would be rather unpleasant. A lot of coughing up phlegm and nasty stuff like that. I don't think anybody wants to hear it.
So was it like COVID or like a regular cold?
No, more like a regular cold. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't lack of breath and things like that. You know, a lot of people have said they've had. So it was just more some stomach issues, things of that nature. But they wasn't.
You
I
must
don't think
be
it was COVID.
stressed out. You heard me.
No, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
You must be stressed out.
I wouldn't say so. I feel like I'm less
Worrying.
stressed now than I've been more so than recently.
Are you worrying?
I don't think I have any major worries coming up or that I'm dealing with. But it could be. I could think of something that I may have a concern about.
Yeah, probably worrying. I was coming to realize that when you I used to get sick. I used to do fashion shows like geez, so many times per year, like over 20, 30 a year. And I used to always get stressed out for like shows and stuff. And I would always get a cold, and it wasn't until after I stopped and I realized after therapy was like listen to your body. And I started paying attention. I was like, oh wow, I get a cold when I'm stressed. Or worried. And I haven't had a cold in what, 3-4 years now. Like any cold or COVID or anything. So I think that's linked to worrying and stress.
I agree. I definitely believe stress is a silent killer. I don't think we attribute enough attention to what stress does to the body. But I guess it's kind of a hard thing to quantify or to measure and how it impacts different people differently. But I definitely believe that it does a significant amount of damage to us.
I mean, even like anger and anger mixed with frustration, I believe that can materialize into your body. That also, I used to get like back pain, not like lower back pain like normal, but the top back pain. And after listening to my body, I realized that when I got super duper angry, that my upper back would have muscle spasms. And I got two cysts, like two big cysts, like that grew at the top part of my back in that same area. And yeah, I realized it came from being angry, getting angry, being frustrated. And then that stopped, and then that stopped. So I believe like stuff like that causes like cancer and all these other illnesses. um, as well as like your lifestyles and stuff, your weight and all that. But I just got like 3 points about parenting. I'm the being and out, get every people time to talk. Um,
All right, what you got?
I, I believe with the only child, well, sticking with I only talk about black folks for the most part. But what I realized that in many black families, the it 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 gives, obviously not like literally, but it gives slavery. Like it gives the parents are the slave masters and the children are the slaves.
Hmm.
And they say things like, this is my house, I birthed you, I could do whatever I want to you, I could hit you, I could do whatever I want, I own you, and that's basically what slave masters say. And, slave masters say, I feed you, your parents say, I feed you. Slave masters say, I clothe you. Parents say, I clothe you. Slave masters say, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I put a roof over your head. Parents say, I put a roof over your head. And for that, you're my property, and I can do whatever I want to. You have no autonomy over your body. You're mine, literally. And with many black parents, um, I link it to being slave masters. I say that to say, yeah, well, again, not in the brutal sense, but in some households it is kind of brutal. I say that to say, from what I've noticed, especially well, I mean, I can't even say single mother households, because I've seen this with two parent households as well, where they're used the child to do the things that they don't want to do, as little servants, if you will. Like, come get me the remote control. The remote control is literally nigga. If you don't get your lazy, come on, I'll work. What nigga? Look, I'm tired of parents thinking they should get Scooby snacks for doing what they chose to do.
Yeah.
Nigga, you chose to be irresponsible with your womb and with your sperm. These are the responsibilities that come with that. You're supposed to have a job anyway, with or without a child. I mean, you're supposed to have your own place and pay your bills with or without a child. So don't blame the child because you actually have to work and pay bills and go to school, and then because you are sexually responsible, you have to come home and cook and take care of kids. If you don't want them, give them up for them. That'll save everybody a heartache. So with having siblings, you guys get to share the duties, you know, the the servitude duties. But when you're the only child, that servitude is on your back, like in totality. So I think that's a con. Um, from what I've noticed, really about with single mother households is they become dependent on that child. I mean, they're dependent on their children emotionally in other types of ways when they're more than one. But when it's just one child, they become extremely emotional dependent on that one child. Like everything, like that child just gets the heavier load because there's no one to share it with. And that goes into with being their child's best friend as well. My niece and her mother, they're like best friends. She's like 7 years old. She's like, that's my best friend. My girl, that's your daughter. Stop it. Stop it. Go get a best friend your age. That's your daughter. Now, when she gets older and she's an adult and solidified in her adult life, then there's room for you guys to become friends and all of that. But when she's a child, she's a child, you know. So I don't really have any positives about being a single child. I mean, you'll get anything you want for the most part. Um, I don't see much positive with being a single child. I mean, it's on the parent and if you only have one child and that child dies, I mean, my gosh, like where do you go? What if you're too old to like have another child, or you don't want to have another child at a certain age? Like, what do you do? So all around, I don't think it's good to have one child.
So if you could
That's all
have an ideal number of children, what do you think the ideal number of children is to have a solid child?
For me or for
just
people?
Your opinion. Like, what do you think the ideal? Well, let me say not the ideal number of siblings or to have.
I go with the other caller, like 5. Like an odd number. 5, even 7 if stable and have 2 parents. Yeah, 2. No. I just see a bunch of fighting. Especially if they're girls. 3, that making work. But someone's going to be left out. When you get into the 4s and the 5s and beyond, I think that's more cool sibling-wise. If your parents are financially stable. If they're not financially stable, it can be hell for you. Because I went to high school with these girls, and it was like 6 girls and 1 boy, and they were a single mother household, and they didn't have, like, much money, and the girls, like, shared clothes. So one girl would come to school, and they were like stair-step children. And the classmates would pick at them like, girl, I just seen your sister wear the outfit yesterday. Or they would like, once this one is finished with her weave ponytail, she gives it to the other sister, and they just change weaves. And it's like, girl, we just seen her with the weave ponytail yesterday. Why are y'all changing weaves?
That's fucked up. I mean, it's a fucked up situation, but it's like, damn, you got hand me down hair. It is what it is. It sucks. Yeah, you definitely don't want to have a bunch of kids and not be able to, afford to have them. You know what I mean? So.
Right. From my perspective, I see just a lot of people popping out kids, and they don't have the money that's needed to keep popping out kids. So, from my perspective, I believe if you're not financially equipped to take care of kids and put them in activities and tutoring and all of these things that create a child to become an adult who competes with the best and the brightest, then I don't believe we should have kids. Yeah. You're not in the space to create those types of children. Especially in the Black community. We have too many bums. We have too many Dusties and Dustianas. Too many.
Could you
define
Dustiana for me?
A Dustiana is a sexy red, a Sukiana. A Dustiana could be that woman who's too loud and abrasive everywhere. She got to be extra loud and obnoxious and ghetto everywhere she goes. No matter where she's at, she has a bunch of baby daddies. That's a Dustiana. she broke, on welfare, or she could be working at Burger King, but Burger King will be fine if you was by yourself, but you got 3 and 4 kids working at Burger King. That's the honor.
Hold on, Ken. You know what? I just remember something. We got some beef, man. I forgot.
What?
We got an issue, man. You was talking about my
What?
boy BG, man.
Look, no. Give BG the same hell y'all give any other gay person that come out. Your Lil Nas X. Give him the same hell
But
y'all give any.
who is saying he came? It was just a simple little flick, a flick of the follicle. And now people saying, saying he looked like Sexy Red and put the Photoshop the weave on, and they're doing my boy bad, man. He's been locked up for a minute. When you've been in such cramped space, it take a little time for your joints to loosen up so you move like you're supposed to. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see what happens is, I've watched some jail documentaries and stuff. What I've learned, thank God I've never been. I mean, I was arrested one time, but that's not jail. But from what I've understood and from what others have told me who've been in jail, is that that type of lifestyle where men are being boyfriends and like that whole type of life, that's accepted in jail, especially if you're serving like 5+ years. That's like it's not frowned upon. From what I've learned. So maybe he got out, and I mean he's been in there for what, 13 years?
Or something like that.
Yeah. So the nigga probably, I mean, 13 years of getting your pussy banged out, or you getting pussy. I mean, you coming out. He ain't made the transition back to try to be straight again. Maybe he done had too many years getting pussy, and it's wore off on him to the point where he can't shake it off. Like the down low niggas could just shake it off, but he been engulfed in that lifestyle for so long. Probably, I'm guessing, I'm assuming, but it's giving that's the lifestyle he had in jail, and it's not just the flick of the hair. It's his manner. Like bro. You saw how dude was standing. Come on now. Like we're not gonna act ignorant, and we're not gonna act intellectually dishonest. Because if a regular nigga walked like him, held his hips the way he held them, his posture, his face, how he smiled, like we just not gonna act like if that was just a regular dude on the street that, or your classmate, you came to your high school reunion, you saw this nigga. Like we just not gonna act like that. You not gonna be like, yo, he a little bit, on the other side. Come on. You might like the nigga, but come on, be real. Come on.
I'm not accepting
Don't like
this. I refuse to accept it.
Okay.
Y'all can say I'm being delusional. Y'all can say I'm being disillusioned. Chopper City in the ghetto, man. Cash Money is an army. Better yet, a navy.
He could still be in the army.
Bling.
He still had a bling bling, but he bling blinging with pussy on the side.
Oh,
I mean, and yeah, he bling bling with pussy. Hey, and that may mess up your whole childhood or whatever, but it is what it is. But we're all assuming, so it's nothing factual right now. We are all assuming. But my thing is, give this nigga the same energy that y'all give anybody else. That's all I'm saying. Because I can't stand when niggas do this sometimes and stuff. They pick and choose, cherry pick. They do it with the Bible. They do it with anything. Their favorite person, favorite celebrity, favorite family member, favorite anyone, they could do anything and they'll just overlook it. But anybody else, they give him hell. No. Give him the same heat you'll give anybody else. That's all I'm saying. You feel me? That's all. So give him hell. Look, give a nigga hell. Give a nigga hell. Look, And if you ain't gonna get him no help, don't get nobody else help. That's walking around flicking their hair and holding their hips
But,
out.
but but I'm just saying, there is no masculine way to set aside your hair. You know, this is this from one gentleman with long hair observing another gentleman with long. He was just simply trying to find an appropriate way to, because there is no way. I've sat and I've pondered this for a long time. There's no way you can't flick it, you can't flip your head, you can't fling your fingers, you can't grab it and set it. There's nothing that you can really do but hope you just wake up and your hair's in the right place, so you ain't gotta, make any kind of absurd movements so people don't start judging you like they do my boy BG. So I mean, what else can you do in that situation?
You's a lie, cause the way the women be, how they throw their hair back and they lean their head back and like there's a way that separates the two. We just not gonna act like how women be throwing their hair back, they wig hair back, whoever's hair back it is, they be throwing their hair and how their neck be, they neck to shoulder ratio be, how they roll it around, we just not gonna act like that. That's like the woman way of throwing your hair back. Come on. So you telling me right now that when you throw your hair back, that you gotta do a turn of the head to the left, go all the way back, and throw your hair like that, and your shoulder be straight. You telling me that's how you do?
But I don't generally engage in the motion of throwing my hair back. If I do anything, I take a scrunchie and I just, I try to put it in some type of ponytail or some type of thing that don't look too off the wall. But there's no real manly way of doing any of these things, in my opinion.
Okay. So well then, next time, look, hey, I want you to just go ahead and throw your head back right now. Think there ain't no masculine way to do it, Then there ain't nothing wrong with you throwing your hair back right now. Let's see you do it, Huncho. Come on, you could do it. Throw your head back how the Instagram girls be doing it. Go ahead.
I can't do none of that. No, I cannot assist you in that situation. I have no ability to do such a thing.
I'm telling the truth, nigga. You're lying. Look, that's all I got to say. You lying. Deal with BG, aka Big Girl, and hey, go home. Go ahead about life. I don't want to hold the line up, but that's all I got to say. But I want to see you throw your head back since there ain't no masculine way of doing it.
Can't do it. It's just gonna have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Kidd, I appreciate you calling in and sharing the conversation with us. You brought up some very interesting points, though. Definitely some things to think about. And if you free, hopefully we'll catch you in the Discord after the stream.
For sure, bro. I be falling asleep with the phone in my hand, so I'll try.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for calling me.
All right. Yeah. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Kidd. I said I was gonna put the Discord link up in here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Well, not too often. I don't do it intentionally. All right. There's that. No. I don't be hair flipping. That's not a thing. I've been at what they call it, the damn stylist, and she'll be doing a little thing and put something up in the thing, to kind of get the dread out the way, dread hit you in the eye. And I'm blind. And it's even worse, it's a damn wet dread. I can't see. All right, let me put the link in there. There's been some very interesting conversations, right? Broderick has been getting demolished in the Discord the last couple of days. I feel bad for him. Actually, I don't know. I think that should be grounds for mention removal. If you can't defend yourself adequately, That might be grounds for ritual. There you go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the dilly dally. Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. Heidi's a Discord hater. There's actually probably, well, I won't say there's more women than them. Given the time of day, the soft sports Discord is definitely sausage party too. Yeah, they wouldn't have wished that was Misty. Oh man. Yeah, all yeah, they telling me to stand on that project. See, this is definitely a reason for Roger to get definitely a reason to take Broderick. Man, what are you talking about? Broderick, man, I'm telling you, like, yesterday was very interesting. Broderick was in there sweating. I could hear drops of sweat rolling off Broderick's head. Miss Bell was whooping Broderick's ass. It was a whole lot going on in there yesterday evening. So, all right. All right. All right, hear me out. Okay. So, I got it going a little bit late today, but this is what we can do. We got, what's today? Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday. Now, we can have some semi-serious topics for the rest of the week. Like I said, I have plenty of topics to talk about, right? And even the video that you had shared, Ken, I kind of want to talk about that too, because I think there's a nuance to that. I was talking about the Discord earlier, but I don't know. So, let me see. I'm thinking tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Okay. I said I was going to do 9 today, but it was kind of late when I got everything done, so I said, fuck it, we'll go ahead at 10. Excuse me, so that we could make a shake. The lovely Miss Sarah Lou, how are you, man? Okay, so I got to talk about people, right? And I said that I'm gonna link up with Amanda. We're gonna have a conversation about being friends with coworkers and stuff like that. But hear me out. All right, hear me out. So in my new lane, there's a lot of weird things. There's this person, right? And actually, I don't really know because I'm very antisocial. I don't perform. I got all distracted. I see that's what happens. I'm all ADHD and shit. But I'm all in the damn Discord and shit. But I've never heard this. So let me know if y'all have heard this before, right? Because it's weird, and I find it really weird because I noticed it the first couple times. Like, that sounds odd. But instead of someone saying like, my bad or I'm sorry, they say, just kidding. So it's like, if I cut you off or saying something, say, hey, my bad, yeah, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just kidding, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, replace like a situation where you would say, I'm sorry, or something like that with just kidding. And it's weird, right? Because I'm used to just kidding being like a response to somebody kind of playing a joke on you, or like a little prank, like, I'm just fucking with you, or saying something crazy, be like, I'm just fucking with you. Not like a form of saying, I'm sorry or apologizing in some kind of way. So I find that to be very, again, apologies, I get them all distracted, they still ain't even look. But I find that to be like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel that's kind of how I look at it too, right? It's kind of a cop out, right? But I've never heard it used like that. But then that's when I first heard it, because the way it was, the context of what it was heard, when I heard it, it was like she was saying something that's like she had made a mistake. Like she gave a response to something, and she said, "Just kidding," something, something, something. But I'm like, how are you just kidding? You said the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, so it's like you're not kidding. You were wrong. You're trying to change that. But then I started to realize, like, it's being used as a substitute for "I'm sorry" or "my bad." But then that's exactly how it comes across to me. It's like that's almost a way of, like, it seems like something that was ingrained in you as a child, and then because the response is so quick and just natural, and it seems like you were probably a kid that lied a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you're a kid that lied too much, so you just, instead of accepting that you lied or you did something off the wall or you said something crazy, you just start using the "just kidding" the crawfish out of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a weird thing to me. You say I think that's from Clueless or Clueless Culture. I don't know. I don't know. And again, I keep getting distracted. That's what happens when I be reading the damn chat. Electric Boogaloo 2. Do 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 do. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong thing. See. Shout out to the lovely Miss K Grace. I thank you so much. Blickety blickety. And I'm gonna start doing my own thing. Remember what was it? Giggity gig? Not giggity giggity. That was definitely Quagmire. That was cool though. Dilly Dilly, the commercials that of the beer that nobody drinks. And I didn't know that Modelo is also a Bud Light company, so that's interesting. But again, thank you for the love, Miss Grace. Um, do. People saying kidding as a placeholder also. Yeah, that's a weird thing to me, right? Say my bad is Gen X, my fault is millennial. I guess I'm Gen X. No, my bad. You know what I'm saying? What's another one that, one that was new to me was, instead of "thank you," "appreciate it." That's one I adopted a little bit older. Probably I picked that up more so when I got to college. I used to always be a thank you person. Appreciate it. That got adopted into my lingo in the collegiate culture. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding is Valley Clueless. That's interesting. It's very interesting because I don't know. I'd never heard anybody use that before, like in that context. You say I'm being too literal. I don't trust the Valley. Let me see. I'd say 9 is way better. All right. Reverend Brooks is a terrible person. I don't know. I think if Broderick and my friend had another debate, I might have to put my money on my friend. Broderick was sweating. Broderick said Broderick told her that she couldn't use facts, right? She was going to get the information off the Google machine, and Broderick said you can't use Google to get your information. I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. Because I agree with Broderick's points, as far as if I was to choose an argument that I would have supported, it would have been Broderick's argument. But if I'm just saying, who was bringing, the heat and the foundation to their argument, I don't know. I don't know if Brother Brooks was, was really brooking. You know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's it. Like that's to me. it was a very new thing. I've never heard in my almost 39 years of life. Whew. Yeah, birthday coming up. I think next week. What's today? Today is the 13th. What did y'all do for 9/11? Did y'all celebrate? Did y'all have some freedom fries? Oh wow, yeah, next Wednesday. You know, I don't want to do the Betty White thing. Right, but I'm gonna be 100. And they clock out a couple of days before. So, yeah, next Wednesday, got a birthday. And I'm gonna be thinking way ahead. But but you know what we do? We do as people. We make stuff. We do stupid stuff, and I guess that's why I'm like, I'm weird. And let's talk about good old child weirdness, right? Or only child weirdness, like. And I've come to realize that as I've gotten old, there's a lot of things that just kind of take me stepping back and paying attention to. But yeah, as a single child, I'm like an only child. I'm very comfortable being alone, right? I wasn't at one point, but now super comfortable being alone. Like I have no qualms about being myself. Let me whoop this nigga tray real quick. I'm being accused of false hate. Is this what you're saying, Broderick? Is this what is being said right now? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
It's Trey.
Trey, what's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this evening, Mr. Trey?
Not much. But, I don't even know where to start right now. How long do you think they're going to keep milking 9/11 for?
For 100 more years.
No, because really, it's milking it by now.
Duh. I mean, until the end of time. I mean, as long as they can, you know, they definitely will mark it as a day of unity. Hold on 1 second. I gotta whoop this nigga trio real quick. But are you got beef for 9/11?
If what?
I said, do you have beef with 9/11?
Not so much. It's just at this point now, it's dragging shit on a little bit long because like people remember when that Pearl Harbor happened, but it doesn't get dragged on like this. World War II don't get dragged out like this.
But didn't 9/11 replace those? Like, you know, Pearl Harbor was a thing.
Well, basically, the only difference though is that there's so much information to show that 9/11 was an inside job versus the others where there were external factors. That I'm not saying that the government did it to themselves, but there's a lot of questions on how protocols weren't followed. And protocols were changed, and all of a sudden you shut down the entire air defense and everything on the eastern seaboard.
So,
but that's a conversation for another show.
But we need to, because there's a lot of, you know, like I said, we did used to have evenings for conspiracy theories and supernatural things and all of that. And I'm not even saying it's a conspiracy. I hate that term. But to lump it in a general category. We need to talk about some of that shit in Discord because maybe we can speak a little more freely. But I like shit like that. I definitely love having those conversations.
And here's the thing. Like, people always talk about conspiracy theorists as these off-the-wall people and shit, but just listen to the government. A conspiracy is any two people planning something. You go to jail on that.
Yeah.
Conspiracy to commit bank robbery, conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit whatever.
That's true.
That it's not no off-the-wall shit. It's just two people talking about something.
Yeah. Which is crazy. That's a crazy thing to even be a charge. Conspiracy, the idea. Brainstorm. You motherfuckers was brainstorming. You going to jail.
Well, people were just like, well, if and I was doing this, and if that, and next thing you know, you're coming out like BG.
Wow, not
I
you
didn't
too,
see-
Drake. Oh.
I just had to throw that in. I didn't see nothing with it. I didn't know anything about it till you brought it up. But no, I'm still cool with BG. It's just I have to agree with Ken. He should be treated like almost everybody else that come out with limp wrist. And the thing is, he's being looked at more that way because of Lil Wayne.
Y'all doing my boy bad. I'm very upset about this whole conversation taking place. But, so you say because of Wayne? Why do you feel like Wayne is impacting the way people are looking at BG?
Because he was the first one that was proven to be tongue kissing his daddy / manager / whatever you want to call him.
So you think this is something that's been going on?
So he brought the stigma to the group. So now anything that looks like it could be halfway or a quarter of the way to some degree is going to make it seem even more.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It makes me very upset to see and hear the things that are going on about my boy BG. So,
I'm only hearing what was said on the air tonight. I didn't see anything, so I can't say nothing about it. But it's just I have to agree with Ken on that thing, because like another example would be like me being like a Bills fan, and all of a sudden this thing comes out saying that the Bills owner is dropping racist comments here and there. And then me saying, like, no, he didn't do it. But, yeah, Jerry Jones did, and half the other things did. And it's because I'm a Bills fan. Puglia didn't say nothing. It's like, no. Anybody's capable of saying anything. The intention behind it could be stronger and more vile based on who the person is, but...
I'm going to, give me just a second. I'm pulling up the video.
But I can't just give dude a pass.
I'm gonna let everybody see it, because I guess when I don't give context to things, it makes it more difficult to. See, that's the problem I have. I automatically assume like things that I've done, everybody's done. So, or if I know something or know about something, I automatically assume everybody knows about it. So, give me just a second. I got the video already. I'm gonna play it on the screen. Let me just download it. The one I've seen. Not the one where you first got out of jail, right? Oh, Michelle, you're a terrible person. Okay, let's see. All right, and this is the video that's been going viral that everybody is saying all sorts of terrible things about my boy. Let me just let it play. I ain't even got the sound on it. It just really don't even need the sound. I don't think I've even heard the sound. Just let it play.
This is how we do it. Fresh, very fresh.
Fresh to death.
Like a real
I'm ready,
man
huh?
in the bed. Yeah, you ready, baby?
I'm ready for prime time.
You ready?
I'm ready for my battle.
I'll play one more time for you.
Okay, that was it?
Yeah, this is the thing. That little piece of hair grab right there in the beginning, what everybody's talking about. That's the thing, right? And I don't even know if that's his hand. Right? I've been in the same position. Every time you get your hair done nowadays, the damn stylists, they want to, they want to get your hair, they want to take the picture, they want to put it on the deal, they want to advertise their services, right? So they do the little scan on your head, stand this way, stand that way. They do the little thing, people like it, it looks good,
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, but the way people were talking, I thought it was like a hair flip and this and that, and it's like, that was just lifting hair up.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe.
So
And y'all talking about rolling out. Look, he fresh out of jail. He ain't used to somebody being all in his face with the camera like that. Last time he was out getting his hair done, he was, getting fades. And he wasn't used to all this shit. He didn't have cell phones and all this shit, doing all that shit. Now, it's different. So maybe he was looking up. He was on his phone. He looked up, see what's going on, make sure ain't no weird shit going on. Yeah, this is major cope, y'all. All right, this is cope at a maximum. I'm telling. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. What the fuck? I'm coping. I'm coping the best I can cope here. Y'all gotta work with me here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand.
okay, now here's the thing. Like the way he was standing and everything, he looked like a shy kid. He didn't look like himself. And I could see somebody calling him soft, but that could also be, I ain't going back to jail. Call me what you want, I ain't going back in.
Hey, you right, alluding. It is a bunch of niggas on TikTok. How the fuck these motherfuckers doing dances and celebrating? Like, how are y'all not busted? I mean, I'm not hating, but I'm just like, damn, niggas in prison got TikToks now. It wasn't the best look, and I ain't necessarily want to turn this. I was saving it because I ain't necessarily want to turn this into the BG conversation, but y'all was hating on my boy. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Okay. Now, I just want to hit the main topic for a minute.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out to Jamil because he hit the topic square but went kind of left on it. Because everybody's talking about their experiences versus actual observations of society. And that's cool to a certain extent until you start making statements. Now, the thing comes down to parents. Good parents, bad parents, dependent parents, like whether it's emotionally or whatever, physically, but how people parent. And everybody knows some wild kid or some just stupid kid that came out of any family, anywhere, any slot in the thing. So kids are also born certain ways. And like for the most part, yeah, the middle child in an odd number family is going to be the most rebellious out of the set. An only child can come out in two different ways. Either have too much pressure on them, too much affection on them, all that type of stuff, getting everything that they want, or being the opposite, not getting enough. Because, like, I have a half brother, and like he grew up an only child till like we didn't meet till like we were like 17, 18. We knew each other existed, but whatever. But like his mom treated him like an asshole, and dude used to run away and basically ride the transit all night, and then have the police come looking for him. So it's like people say, talking about too much attention on an only child, that dude didn't get enough. Me, I didn't get everything I wanted as a child. Like, my mom probably couldn't afford to do that, but it was taught to me that I had to earn stuff too. Meanwhile, now, my goddaughter is the only child, and her mother lives through her. And she is the complete stereotype of what people think of an only child. Her father gets her anything she wants. Her mother lives through her. And I've been basically trying to fight that whole thing off, kind of like Miss Grace with her granddaughter. And sometimes people look at me sideways. Sometimes they listen, but they ain't doing anything to change what they're doing. So, again, it comes down to the parenting. Good parents, bad parents, overcompensating parents, undercompensating parents. Like, for the generation out now, it seems like there's more overcompensating parents than anything, giving all their kids everything. kids being born getting phones by the time they're 2 months old. And I don't care if you're coming from a big family, small family, only child. If that's the way you're bringing up your kids, you gonna tell me they're not all gonna be spoiled and expecting to get what they want? And the thing is, we see it all the time. We talk about it all the time, but it only comes down to like this type of focus when we talk about should you have more than one kid? Should you only have one kid? And it's like, to me, you should have the amount that you can afford, like financially and emotionally. And that's it. It's like if you can't, if you can't, like, raise a child properly or figure out how to in some way, shape, or form, then no, you shouldn't be having any. You should have your tubes tied, your nuts cut off, whatever.
How dare you?
But,
are you woman shaming, Dre? Are you telling women what to do with their bodies? How dare you? I can't believe it.
I also said getting your balls cut off. So if I'm woman shaming, I'm man shaming.
We're nobody give a fuck about men. You can say whatever you want to about men. Don't nobody give a fuck. Yeah.
I'm bad parent shaming. That's what I'm doing. No, because the thing is, I know people that come from larger families too, where like the whole pecking order is established. There's like 5 kids, and the thing is, and like the oldest one's like the leader, and everybody else falls in line. And I see tons of problems with that too, because the rest of them just know how to follow. They don't know how to lead anything. They have their own families, and then they're still following whoever they're with. They're not leading. And that's whether it's male or female. And funny enough, like one family I'm thinking about, the middle child was the only one with a brain for himself that really stepped out and was doing things, and people criticized him for it. But that's a different story. But yeah, like when the leader shows that they don't have that leadership ability anymore, the rest of them are still waiting and following instead of being like, okay, it's time for somebody else to take over. Like the animal kingdom doesn't deal like that. The animal kingdom every so often challenges you, challenges your leadership. And if you ain't fit to lead, you're either dead, tossed out of the group, or in the best cases, you're just knocked out of position.
Yeah, but that's the way it should be. I mean, you should always that way. The best leader for the job is usually in position in a nature sense. I don't think it can work like that with man, because sometimes it's the most conniving motherfucker who's just willing to do something the next motherfucker ain't willing to do. You know, and doesn't necessarily mean they're the best person for the job. It just means they're the most willing to get their hands dirty. So, but yeah, definitely. So would you say that the big problem with people who only have the individual child is balance? Because you say it can be too affectionate or it can be too much pressure. Do you think balance is what most parents are lacking when it comes to only dealing with one child?
Or with multiple.
Or even multiple? Okay.
Yeah, it's a parenting. So you can go straight to leadership if you want to there. Because leadership comes from the parents. The kids fall in line from the parents. So whether you have 1 or you have 20, it's all coming from the parents, setting the tone. Because everybody knows the type of father that it's like, I'm the lead, every one of you is behind me, and you're all at the same level type of thing. And if somebody tries to stand out, they get knocked the fuck out. Everybody knows that type of father. Whether it was their father or their uncle or their friend's father or whoever, everybody knows that type of father. Then there's a father that just lifts everybody up, and then there's a father, well, I'm saying father, but it could be father or mother, that sits there and actually is like, take care of your little brother. Your job is to take care of your little sister. Take care of the little one. And then just keeps putting it on, like, step by step by step. And if there is no other step, as in an only child, then it's then either putting too much responsibility on the child or doing everything for the child. Either way, it's not good.
I agree. I agree. Definitely make sure y'all take part in the poll. Or the only child's weird, in your opinion? You know, you have to go into detail. But yeah, okay. So you say overall, people have an issue with balance and parenting in balance.
Yeah.
Whether it's one kid, whether it's 100 kids. Let's hope it's not 100 kids. If it's 100 kids, that coochie is blew out. But yeah. So I mean, definitely, I can agree with that because it is hard. You know, you sometimes children are unplanned. You know, you may have a set of morals and protocols that you stick to, even though the situation may get a little dire, and you know you are going to stay committed to that, and it can be tough. You know, so it is what it is. I'm not knocking it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that.
And I guess that's the other thing too with the difference between men and women. Unplanned pregnancy, the man can leave. The woman can't exactly leave from that. And then, especially the way laws are going now, like dictating abortions and all that, like forget about what people's personal issues are with it or personal preference are. If the law doesn't allow you to have a opinion on it, then you're stuck in that situation, whether you want to be or not. And then people sit there and look at that as the single parent, the mother with hopefully just one, but possibly multiple other children, and no father figure. And at the same time, like a lot of people think on father figures and everything, and like kids coming up without them. And at the same time, you have to credit some of these mothers for not bringing in no good men into these kids' lives to mess them up on another level. There's so many sides to everything that, like, nothing is really a blanket cover.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I definitely agree. It is. We would be foolish to believe that it is, but it's so much going on. I mean, there's too many angles to even cover each and every one. But I agree with you. It's a lot going on.
And I guess it does make good conversation at times, but
Yeah, I agree. It is hard to pinpoint it because there are so many different situations, and you're not going to get, a fully honest version always from people about their situations and why they're in their situations and the things that are going on. Or sometimes people may be honest in what they believe. They just may have a disillusioned view of themselves. So what they may be thinking is doing their best might not be their best, or what they may be doing the best that they know and don't realize. So a lot of people don't realize what they don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of people are content in where they are, but they don't realize how much more information exists. Always, there's always more, and so they don't learn how to be better parents, or they don't learn how to improve. They just, like say, move on to kid number 2. We'll let kid number 1 take care of them, or we'll do whatever. They don't do things to, be better. Or even if they are bad on that first go round, they may improve on the second one. Then the first one's feeling some kind of way. There's so many different situations and scenarios that you're not. Yeah, there's no way. You can see we could take 100 calls and still wouldn't cover each and every one of them. But yeah, so I definitely agree with you on that.
that's pretty much all I had to say about everything. But I'm still not sure what people are talking about with BG, though. Like, that was not a definitive video on anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all trying to do my boy BG bad. They just hating on my boy for no apparent reason. BJ ain't never done nothing to
Mhm.
nobody but mind his own business. Well, I'm sure he's done something to somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah, BG probably grandfathered in a lot of these little young knuckleheads we talk about now. They ain't up to no good. So I guess I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, but it is what it is. So there's that. Okay. All right. Well, that's about Mr. Dre. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No, that's it. I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to say shout out to Mr. Dre. I greatly appreciate you calling in this evening, sir. And we definitely going to have some of that more CT theorist conversation real soon, depending on what we know how the damn conversation goes. And we'll see what they talk about in Discord tonight. We might need to talk about some different things. We always argue with each other. We might need to talk about some space and some aliens and some conspiracy theories and shit tonight. We'll see.
Right.
I appreciate it.
All right. Hopefully see you in the Discord tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, believe me, Mr. Dre. I'll definitely be there.
All right.
All right.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, shout out to Ray. All right. So that'll be the call. We're gonna wrap it up because it's about that time. But some good calls tonight, man. Some real good calls. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm feeling more and more like the some of that old den energy is coming back. We getting there slowly but sure. I love seeing all the old folks coming back. I love the fact that Discord conversations have been starting to get good again on the evenings. Montero, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you, sir. But yeah, like that, it's just I love y'all, man. I do. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I thank you. I do. I appreciate all y'all. Like y'all are great, wonderful people, and I look forward to. What was I telling you? I was telling you about the Just Kidding. I told you we already talked about the Just Kidding girl. I guess like when you talk to people from different regions, it's weird because I already told you about the That's Fair. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that conversation for the being friends with your coworker situation, but I don't think that type of shit is ideal. But we'll talk about it. So you know what? Because I was asking if y'all want to have serious conversations for the rest of the week because I have plenty of serious conversations. But I'm gonna reach out to Mr. Man Up, see what he got going on, and maybe if he's available or the next available date that he has, we're definitely gonna have that conversation because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about coworkers, right? Because let's be honest, everybody in here is talking shit about their coworkers. Make a quick poll before we get up out of here. I'm going to put the link in again for the Discord. Quick poll: 0 for no, 1 for yes. Have you ever talked shit about one of your coworkers to someone who was not a coworker? 0 for no, 1 for yes. It's always that way. It never changes whenever we do yes or no polls. Have you ever talked shit about one of your coworkers to someone who wasn't one of your coworkers? That's what that all tied with the exit family. All right. That is the link for the Discord. Y'all already know the rules of the Discord. Beat me there. Don't meet me there. I'm going to make sure we reach the 12 o'clock mark. I'm going to give y'all your full 2 hours. Like we clocking in at work. But, yeah. Delta Echo Golf. I know you lying. Dream Chasers, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, man. Like, it's inevitable. It is, and I've probably talked shit about my coworkers to other coworkers, and then I probably talk shit about them outside. I've definitely talked shit about coworkers outside of coworkers, right? Like, when you talk shit about yourself, you your own damn coworker. You know what I'm saying? Look, you out there selling rocks on the block, your little runners and shit. You know what I'm saying? You probably talk shit about them. Motherfuckers better have my goddamn money. Bitch, where is my money? Uncle Daddy Delta need his money. Does Delta have to slap another bitch? But you fault your coworkers. Uh, oh, Well, see, you're definitely in a different position, and that's actually very something very. And then you're in a position where, you're in a situation where you should be having to rely on your coworkers to have your back. So that might not be the most ideal situation. Like, what about firemen? The firemen talk shit about that motherfucker can't get up the ladder fast enough. God damn it. Look at it. Look at his axe. His fucking fireman's axe is dull. He's a piece of shit. Man, that's a hmm. Hmm. That's a very interesting point. We're gonna talk about the coworker conversation real soon though. Oh word. That's funny. Oh wow, y'all terrible. So I can't say that to you. Y'all terrible people. But I fucks with y'all, man. I do. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really do. Y'all make my day. Getting in here, being able to chop it up. I'm for real. Last night, look, y'all don't understand that. Like I was contemplating taking and setting up everything in the bed and laying in the bed and streaming, but I was like, nah, I'd be way too comfortable. And it's one thing to fall asleep in Discord and snore. My ass get too comfortable in here, fall asleep on a fucking YouTube stream and be knocked out for 6-7 hours. Yeah, the numbers will grow then. Like, look at this nigger sleeping on you. He's sleeping on the job, sleeping on stream. I told you they were lazy. Look at him. Too lazy to even do his own damn stream. But anyway, man, like, drop the link in there one more time, man. This is the Discord link. Get in there. Meet me there. Beat me there. Don't meet me there. I'm finna be in there right now, like, ASAP. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is an honor. It is a privilege. And most of all, man, it is my pleasure. Truly is my pleasure. I thank y'all for being a part of my life and for allowing me to be a part of your lives. And take care of yourselves. Make sure y'all here tomorrow, Friday. We got the den's back. We got plenty to talk about. But let's keep the party going. After party, Discord. Again, look, we was 10, 11, 12 deep before the stream. I expect to be more deep than that when we get in there. So, again, y'all know I just be rambling. I just be saying stuff. And then, my bad. See, here's my problem, right? I don't have notifications. I don't have any notifications on my phone. So, I should either fix that or sometimes y'all gotta kind of just let me know. Because, all right. Shout out to the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. Thank you. It says, tell Josh he has a chance. Just kidding. Shout out to Sarah. I love Miss Sarah. Salute. And no, you don't have to be on camera in the thing. You don't even have to talk. You can sit in there and ear hustle, but we do be in the voice chat talking to one another. Some people be in the voice chat and they be texting the text chat because, they get accused of false accusations. We ain't even going to start that. I'm in that thing, man. Hey, look, at this point, you should know what's happening. You're getting baited in. I'm really sliding in Discord. I'm just clicking buttons on my computer. And eventually, it's just going to stop streaming in the middle of a sentence. And then, it's just going to, that's how it's just going to happen. And y'all, what happened to us?